to my world. So for the past 30 days in December I've been doing mini reviews of all 30 games on the Nintendo Classic Mini. So now I just want to, on the last day of December, talk about, the actual console overall. The NES came out in, was it 1984, 1985? Depending on where you're from. Classic console, basically brought back gaming after, the Atari and everything fell apart and died. And it was a fantastic 8-bit console, one of the classics. Tons of amazing games. I had one as a kid. This isn't my original, but when I started getting back into collecting, made sure to pick up a NES first. Put your cartridges in, play them, awesome. But, buying some of the games for this can be expensive these days, especially a bunch of them that are actually on this system. So, what's a good way to get them? You could emulate them for free and play them on your PC or whatever, and that's bleh. Or you could buy them on the Virtual Console, on the Wii U, and it would cost you, I think I worked it out at around £98, but there are still 2 games missing on the Virtual Console that are on here. So on top of the the £98, you also have to buy the Wii U. That's a couple of hundred. Not really that practical. Or what you could do is pay £50 and get this Mini NES with 30 games built in. And look at it, it is fantastic. It is identical to the original with the exception of the controller ports. They're just a little different, and the back has HDMI and the micro SD power. Aside from that, it is just an exact replica of this original, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It really does. I knew it was going to be mini when they obviously announced it, but it's not until you actually get it out of the box and have it in your hand that you realise just how small this thing is. But how awesome it looks, and it's a big space saver. I only own Super Mario Bros. On cartridge out of all the 30 games here. So, it's much easier for me to have this set up than this at the moment. So it helps with that. The controllers, this is the controller that you get, and it's got the attachment that you can use for the Wii and Wii U. It plugs into the Wiimote. The original controller is right here, and yep, they're basically identical. The only thing is this one obviously is nice and new compared to this one, which is pretty old but still works. Of course, one of the major complaints is the length, as you can see here. That's where the Mini NES one ends, and we still have a fair bit of cable here for the original. So they are fairly short, which isn't very good, but you can buy something like this, a cable extender for it, which basically, not in there now, it basically lengthens it to what the original is, so that is great. Now if you look at these on Amazon now, they're everywhere, and in the UK you're looking at like £5 for one. I got them off eBay from China, and it cost me like £2 or £3.30 or something, free delivery for 2. Took them 3 weeks to get here, but they did eventually arrive, obviously, and they work great. The build quality actually surprised me. Normally you get things like this really cheap that come from China, and they're kind of crappy and they don't fit properly, but these fit perfectly. The only little thing is that these weren't made for the Mini NES, they were made just for the Wii U. The Wii, and they have one of these that you slot in to that bit, and when you put it in, it blocks off the second controller port. However, there are 2 little screws there, and these can come off, so perfect. You can buy a secondary controller separate. I've got mine still here in the box. I have not opened it because I've not had a chance to play a second player. Yeah. So the Mini NES, also how it connects. HDMI cable to display in 720p, not 1080p, but it still looks fantastic. And the power, micro USB to USB, but you will need one of these, you know, the little USB plugs. They don't supply them, which is a pain in the arse, but at the same time, a lot of people do already tend to have one of these with mobile phones or whatever. It's not the reason I had one. I use it for something else entirely, but I do have one, and it cost me like £1.50 or something off Amazon. They're dirt cheap, so you're okay. Just remember to buy one if you don't have one when you get the system. Yeah, so the actual system itself, like I said, it looks fantastic, well worth the price, and the 30 games, you know, check all those videos out, my mini reviews. I'm not the score 1 to 10 is not how good they are. I'm not rating them, you know, for that. I'm rating them for whether or not I reckon you should play them first or not. So if one's 10 out of 10, you know, if it interests you, play that one first. If one's 1 out of 10, whatever, you know, it's there, maybe not bother. But for the most part, the 30 games on here are all great, and even the ones I don't like, other people will. You know, you got the Super Mario Bros. 1, 2 and 3, Kirby's Adventure, you got Legend of Zelda 1 and 2, the original Donkey Kong, you've got Metroid, Pac-Man, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania 1 and 2, Mega Man 2, you know, Gradius, Galaga, Dr. Mario, Excitebike, Star Tropics, Ghosts and Goblins, and a bunch of other games. A fantastic selection. There will be more games on this that you will like than you won't. Pretty much guarantee that, unless you're really against 8-bit games and old style games with the graphics and you just want, you know, your PS4 Pro with your 4K shit. Yeah, but for most of the people, this is fantastic. Just please, do not go on eBay and pay more than £50 for this, okay? Even though Nintendo fucked up, intentionally or not, with the stock, and they were hard to get, just wait, okay? This, hopefully by the time this video's out, they'll be back in stock everywhere, and if you want one, you will be able to get one. But do not pay the scalper's price. Do not give them the satisfaction when these guys just pick them up when they find them for the cheapest price and then put them on eBay for some arsehole to, you know, spend 200 quid on it. Don't do that. Don't give them the money. They don't deserve it. I was very lucky. I pre-ordered it the first day it was available on Amazon, and I got it on release day. So I was happy with that. So I've had, you know, 2 months nearly to play this thing, and I love it. It's great. Just, you know, it's really small. I can just hook it up whenever I want, easy, and I can play some amazing games on it. So, like I said, if you can, get it in a shop or online for £50, no more. If you can get it less than that, that's great, but do not pay more than the recommended retail price of £50 for it. You know, you can pick up a second controller. I think there was something like $7.99 on Game over here in the UK. I didn't actually see them available to buy anywhere else at the time, because I pre-ordered it on Game when I ordered this on Amazon. I don't know if they're available everywhere now, but yeah, you can get a second controller. Just make sure you get cable extenders. And of course, there are other controller options. There'll be your clone NES controllers that have got you know, the same connector but aren't official Nintendo ones. That'll have longer cables. You can also get wireless ones now, things like that. But yeah, in my opinion, it is definitely well worth the money. You get the awesome looking system, the Mini NES. You get 30 games built in for £50 with a controller. And like I said, it's half of what you would pay just for the games on the Virtual Console. And even then you still have to buy the Wii U to get the Virtual Console. And the 30 games are mostly fantastic. And oh boo-hoo, you can't upgrade it or put more games on. Get over it. What? But seriously, for £50 for the 30 games, it is a steal still. Virtual Console would cost you double just for the games alone, not the system. Buying them on cartridge, don't even get me started with how much that would cost you. So for what it is, it's a fantastic product. I love it and I highly recommend it. So, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. If you can get hold of one of these, please do. And I'll see you again next time.